glad I got my NAs out of the system, who went 0-10 in the group stages on week 2, which means that no NA team made it to the quarterfinals, so I am super depressed. All you needed was one win, Cloud9. But moving on, we've finally got an idea of who's going to be the matches for the quarterfinals. They are as follows. You should see a screenshot now. It will be Flash Wolves versus Origin. It will then be AHQ versus SKT, with Fnatic and EDG, and KT versus KOO rounding out the quarterfinal matches for this week. I am going to run through all of them really quick. I know that this video is very last minute, so it's not going to be as in-depth as some of my other ones, but we are going to run down. I am going to give my predictions and things to look out for in all those matches. So let's get to it. Okay, so the first quarterfinal match is going to be Flash Wolves versus Origin, and this is my variables game of the week. And by that I mean there are so many variables in this match that it's really hard to pick who is going to come out on top. If I had to choose a team, I would pick Origin can make it out. I think they will show up and be stronger in a best-of-5 situation, but like I said, this is the variable matchup, and by that I mean, will Xpeke show up? Will the AD carry in mid lane for Flash Wolves continue to be number 1 and number 2 in most damage at Worlds right now? And my biggest variable is SOAS. If that's not obvious to anyone, then you are new here, which is okay, but when it comes to big situations, including previous World matches, SOAS and his baguettes have dropped the ball multiple times in situations where he could have won games or showed up and he should have been beating his opponents, and then he ends up going super negative in all of his games. So it's up to SOAS to prove me wrong and prove everyone wrong that he's not going to choke again, because he is a choke artist in these important matches like this. And because of all this, I think Champ Select will also be super important in this match. I believe they even touched upon this in PTL, if I remember. I didn't get to watch all of it, but I believe they even mentioned Champ Select, and I agree with them that Champ Select in this match alone will be very important. But my go-to thing to look out for is, will SOAS show up and be as good as everyone knows he can be, or will he go straight NA? When it comes to AHQ versus SKT, I'm not going to dwell on this. This should be SKT as the clear favorite. They should win. They should stomp AHQ. If it's even close, I'll be surprised. If AHQ was to beat SKT, then it would be the biggest upset at this World's. Doesn't matter the rest of the results. AHQ beating SKT at this stage in Worlds would blow everyone's minds. And if it does happen, though, I will say that we will have a TPA situation on our hands, and that would be hilarious. But moving on. Wait, bring it back. Before we move on, if On gets Jinx from AHQ, if their AD carry gets Jinx, they might have a chance, but unlike every other team that played against AHQ in week 2, SKT will actually make sure On doesn't get that. I don't know why On was allowed to get Jinx multiple times in groups, but everyone knows that On's Jinx is amazing, and there's no way he's going to get that again. If he does, maybe they'll have a chance, but I don't think it's going to happen this time. Now, moving on. Next up, probably everybody's most anticipated match. It's mine, at least personally, but it's Fnatic versus EDG, and I'm curious to see that if the Fnatic that played in group week 2 is going to show up, because if that Fnatic shows up, then I could see them pulling this out. The whole thing is, will Fnatic be too cocky again? I don't think they will, but let's just hope they don't play too cocky. I'm looking at you, Hooney. I'm looking at you. But EDG, it's still hard to tell which one's going to come out, because they haven't really been challenged yet at Worlds. Yeah, they played SKT, but other than that, it was just them steamrolling H2K and Bangkok Titans. And other Chinese teams haven't really shown much. So my thing is, If Fnatic play like they did in week 2 and throughout the entire LCS season, or the split, I mean, then I don't think EDG will win. I think China will be eliminated in the quarterfinals right now. And it will, which is good in a way, because for me, then it will prove what I always thought is China has been way too hyped this season, and they aren't as great as everybody was making them out to be. And it also means that for once in 2 years, we will have a final that isn't Korea versus China, and it will actually be different regions, and I look forward to that. But that's my call. I think EDG will follow suit with the rest of China in the trend of choking. But we'll just have to wait and see. Moving on to the match that I don't give a shit about. Every stage of Worlds so far, there's been games and matches and groups that I just don't give a shit about, just because it's clear that it either doesn't matter in the scheme of things, or it's just not as exciting or being looked forward to as other matches. And that for me is KT versus Q. Not taking any away from the teams, they're both amazing teams, and with that, it's going to be amazing League of Legends, and you're going to see great play, and that includes how to actually play the lane swap correctly, because both of these teams do it very well. And the last best of 5 that these guys had was amazing to watch. If you didn't watch it, I suggest going and watching that. But this is my game and best of 5 series in the quarterfinals, at least, that I don't care. There's other games that I'm more excited for, and for this, either way, Korea gets a guaranteed advancement with this matchup. They're both Korean teams, so no matter what, a Korean team will be advancing, even if SKT gets upset by AHQ, which I still don't think they will. But that's my take on KT versus Q. If you want a prediction, I would say KT's going to take it. I think they've been looking stronger than Q so far with how they looked in the group stages. I think that Q will choke like they did at IEM. That's just I don't know. I get that feeling that they're just going to choke again. Not as hard as SOAS might, but I believe that they can choke just as hard. And that's it, guys. That's my quick quarterfinal video, and I just wanted to get this out there because this is still the best Worlds that we've had so far, and this quarterfinal matches are going to be fantastic. Once again, guys, let me know what you think of the matches coming up. Do you agree with some of my predictions? What do you think of what's your most anticipated match that you're looking forward to? If you did like the video, give it a like always, and give me a comment down below. And also, if you don't want to miss any more videos that I come out with, make sure to click on the star and give yourself a round of applause for making it to the end of another video of mine. Thanks, guys, and I hope to see you in the next one.